use this medicine to cure your abdominal pain, and the company doesn't want that email, so only by the word you cannot know. Only using one word you cannot know if an email is spam and or is spam or ham. You cannot use just one word. You need the full context. You need to see if the abdominal is referring to a medicine that is abdominal, or if it's referring to the employee having no, Aaron has abdominal pain. Please help, something like that. So when we create this matrix, we are going to pass it to the system, and the system, the classifier, is going to calculate some probabilities to see if based on that we can see if an email is a truth email, a ham, or a spam. So the classifier is going to have these probabilities inside, and it's going to do so. For example, here the word abacha. So for example, the word abacha,
Hello, hello.
it has hi, hello.
Oh, sorry, it's a noise.
Okay. So let's continue. So again, we have different words, different probabilities for the words. Sometimes the system is very, very sure that a word. So for example, here, the probability of a ham of the word, let's say, influencing into being a ham is very, very small. Sometimes it's very, very big. But again, this is just the probability of one word. Okay, we cannot assume that this is the truth for every email. So once that we create these probabilities, we can classify the emails, okay? And the original, let's say, performance of the system is, if we go here to the numbers, we have 91% of accuracy, okay? Which is not bad, a system. Well, I mean, obviously some companies would prefer a better accuracy, maybe in the order of 95, 96%. But let's say it's not that bad. We can see that from the emails that we used to test the system, 58 of them were predicted as ham, but in reality were spam. And 30 emails were predicted as spam where they should have been predicted as ham. Okay, so it's not that bad. But you will see that if we add extra text, so again, doing the infection, if we change the labels and if we add extra text into our spam emails, we can reduce the accuracy of our system. So again, coming to the example of the abdominal pain, if I send an email to my boss saying, I have an abdominal pain, I don't want to come to work. The email should pass, right? The email should be a ham. It's a truthful email that I want to send to my boss and to say, I have abdominal pain today. I don't want to come. Now, the word abdominal, maybe the system says, if it says abdominal, then it must be a truthful email because maybe the employee is talking about abdominal pain. But what would happen if then an attacker, a hacker, adds the word abdominal to the false emails, so they are trying to add false emails, but they just put the word abdominal below. They could fool the system, because the system is based on words. So maybe the email says click here, to change your password, one of the most dangerous attacks, telling like all employees have to change their passwords. Click here to change the password. Abdominal. Even if you click the abdominal in the in the address of the false website, or even if you put their abdominal something in a lot of text, if the system thinks, that's the dangerous part. If the system thinks that if it says abdominal, it must be true, then this email will go through your spam filter. Okay, so that's why it is important to talk about semantic relations, right? Is abdominal talking about the abdominal pain of the employee, or is abdominal just a word that it's appearing in the email? And this is why this is a very basic approach to it. And that's why spam filters have to include semantic relations. Okay, so coming back into this of is the pregnant woman having the heart attack, or who is the one having the heart attack? So that's why we cannot just look at words and trying to see, is there a match? Yes. Is there not a match? No. This is a very simplistic approach. We need semantic relations. Okay. So again, you can have a look at this at your own time. I have allowed the link in the chat. And just to finalize, I want to show you the unsupervised one. Okay. So in the unsupervised one, we are using a technique called latent direct allocation. And what we want to do is load a bunch of documents, and we want to identify the theme of these papers. Okay. So in this case, I have a data set of different papers. So for example, I have a document that talks about business. Okay, so this is a business document. By document, it can be a book, it can be a report, it can be whatever. Okay, so this is a business book. Maybe I have a document that talks about crypto. So for example, this is a book that talks about crypto. mm, Documents about IT, documents about law. So we have collected different documents, okay? Medical documents, political documents, real estate, religion, etc. Okay? In religion, you can see, for example, here the Quran or religion to the Bible, so different documents here. And what we are doing in this system or in this practice is basically loading the documents and trying to train a system that can classify based on topics. Okay. Now, the important difference here is that we don't know the topics in advance. If we knew the topics, we would already tell the topic, right, to the system. We are assuming that we don't know. I mean, of course, here based on the name of the file, I know, but we are trying to see if the system can automatically or by itself discover these topics, okay? So we can show some of the text, the first 200 characters. And this is very good because you can see that there is already packages in Python. So here we have extract text from PDF. Extract text from PDF is a function that with one line of code can allow you to extract. I think at some point we talk about OCR. Well, this function does OCR to read your PDF and just extract the text. Okay, so it can read all the text. As you can see, maybe it doesn't do it very well. So for example, here terminology for HE, alt, care, so it's not a perfect system. It has not been able to know that terminology is the same word. Okay, but it does its best effort. Okay, for example, here, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, it didn't recognize the word. But anyway, it's a simple function that we can use. And for example, here it worked way better. Okay, now we will do all of this preprocessing again that we talk about it, taking out stop words, taking out the words that we don't need to use. So again, we don't need numbers, for example, removing Roman numerals, cutting things, replacing. So this is one of the most important things that you have to do when working with text, okay? Trying to get rid of words that you don't need. For example, this is what, and maybe you saw it in other sessions, but tokenize, lemmatize, truncate, get rid of stop words. Again, all of these things can be done and you can have a look on your own time because, of course, this session is going faster. And as you can see, we can get, for example, the top 10 words of each text. So, for example, for the business documents, we see these words are the most important. Well, the first words, not the top words. We can see words that were found in the law document number one, in the law document number two, all the words that we have found. Okay. But then the important thing is finding the order, right? So we can do some exploration. We can see how many words are found in each document, how many unique words are found in each document. We can even see a distribution of top words. So, for example, in business, we see that market, economy, economist are the words that appear more. For law, the word law, so in a law document, the word that you expect to appear more is law, but also court, case, legal, act, all of these. For the medical domain, health is the word that appears more, exercise, activity, risk, all of these. For politics, party, government, even a very weird word, chint, that in the end we ended up getting rid. Real estate, property, state, real. No, so even in real estate, real and state are not the words that appear more, is property, okay? Which is an equivalent, is a synonym. In cryptocurrency, of course, the word that appears more, Bitcoin. In religion, the word that appears, and this is quite interesting, even let's say onto appeared more than God, okay? So IT, data, user services, etc. Okay, so now if you go, you can show more things about the documents, but what I really want to show you is this nice visualization that we found. So which is already part of the package, is called PyLDAVs. So these PyLDAVs, or some people call it PyLDAVs, PyLDAVs is a system that allows me to show how the documents cluster to each other, and it's here. So if you scroll a little bit below, Once that we train the classifier, we can see how the classifier says, okay, these are medical documents. It doesn't say the name because, again, it's unsupervised. I didn't have to tell the system if it's which type of name it has, okay? But you can see that medical documents are over here, religious documents are over here, whereas these were the politics documents, right? And finally, the cryptocurrency documents. So you can see how these documents cluster in different ways and how the medical documents are all over this part, how the religious documents are almost on the other side, whereas the system believes that the most similar documents that you have are the politic ones and the cryptocurrency ones. Okay, even you can change some parameters here in the visualization. You can reduce some relevance metrics, and this can change. Okay, so also you can select certain words. So for example, the word Bitcoin, of course, is 100% related with the cryptocurrency. But if I select, for example, a word like man appears more in in religious documents, but it also appears in so if I select man here, you can see that even the medical documents. So I can do some visualization of the main words. Law, law is a word that appears also in even you can see that the word law appears in religious documents. Like there can be mentions of, I don't know, the law of the Egyptians or the law of God or something like that. Group, is a word that can appear in medical documents. So you can do a lot of analysis here. Now, this was a test done only with 4 categories. Okay, so I only included 4 categories, and as of course you can see the big difference. The problem is when we include more categories. The more we include, we're going to find that the system is worse at doing its job, because for example, here it was unable to find anything. Here it only found medical documents, it found IT documents, and it found religious documents. Okay, so here, as you can see, the work was done less exact. Here is another one that is all text and categories. And again, you can see that the more categories that you include, the more difficult for the system is to classify. So here we have the medical documents, sorry, the religious documents, on to God, thou, thy, son, all of these words that you can find in religious documents. Here you can find the medical documents, but now even we have found this confusion, like it has found that IT documents include inside the crypto documents. It has found an overlap between law documents and business documents, and it hasn't found anything for the other, like nothing relevant for the other. So, as I told you, uh, it's difficult to trust these models, but it's interesting to see these visualizations. Finally, you can test the model. So, for example, you could upload your own document, or you can use a text box. So, for example, here I'm just writing, and you can write some text and see if the model can predict which type of text you're writing. Okay. So this notice that if you want to run these practices, this one runs very smoothly. You just need to run everything and it will run because the data comes from my Dropbox. In the second one, you cannot run it that easily because the data is being brought from my Google Colab. So basically, I'm dragging the data from privately because it's data that we cannot share, unfortunately. So in this case, it's more about reading it. Okay, so in this case, I would prefer just for you to read the things because it's data that is privately, let's say, residing in my drive. However, I'm sure that if you have good technical expertise, you could use some parts of this code to use it in your convenience. So for example, maybe you cannot load this data, but you could look for your own documents. You could look for your own directories and load your data. You could adapt this code into what you are looking for. Okay. At the moment, it's just for you to see how things are done. Okay. So with that, we conclude this session on NLP and how deep learning can help us solve problems. We have seen how, let's say, working in the systematic in the healthcare domain has given us this priority of saying, okay, we need to retrieve the adequate information without compromising, let's say, the time of the medical experts. and how we need to be effective about it. And as I was telling you at the beginning, how sustainable can we be? Should we always use ChatGPT? Should we always be using the best, the most expensive, the most, the biggest computer? Or should we be more effective and using systems that are more adaptable to our domain? So this is one of the things that I want to leave you as a reflection from this activity. I hope you have enjoyed the session, and please let me know if there's any questions. Okay, we have 4 minutes left, if I'm correct, for the questions.
If anyone having questions, you can raise. Malavika?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Sir,
Okay.
am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes.
audible.
Sir, actually, you worked on text data. If I will
Mhm.
work on the audio files, if my data set is audio files, then the technique is same or some other technique should I adopt?
Good question, Rocky. So, yes, if you have audio files, you first need to transcribe those audio files into text, and then you can apply the same techniques. You need to do the transcription from that text into, sorry, of that audio into text. Now, keep in mind that when people talk, they say more words than expected. Like when I was presenting, I can say these things. Like when we're talking, we get a lot of noise. Also, for example, maybe someone is talking in the background. Many things happen when you have audio. So there are other techniques that focus on how to properly process audio. But I can tell you that most people are preferring to pass the audio into text simply because how many people, and it's in fact, it's what ChatGPT does. Like now we all have, the ChatGPT app in our phone, and we can just say, oh, hey, ChatGPT, can you tell me where is the nearest restaurant? This gets passed into text first. It gets transcribed and then it's processed as text. Okay.
Okay, sir, thank you.
No worries.
Any more questions?
If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I will leave here in the chat my email. And I think, well, the recording will be available for everyone in this course, right?
கிளாஸ் இப்போ இல்லையா? முடிஞ்சதா? நாளைக்கு கேமா? நாளைக்கு நைட்டு போடுவாங்க.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening to the session.
Malavika?
Yes, sir. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Carlos, for such an insightful and thought-provoking session, and also for clearing the queries of some enthusiastic participants. Your session was truly insightful and inspiring. We sincerely thank you for delivering such an enlightening session on solving NLP challenges with deep learning techniques. Your detailed exploration of advanced topics such as active learning in SR automation, investigation regarding how machine learning and natural language processing concepts can be harnessed to automate the EBMs in healthcare, semantic search tools like Biomed Explorer, COVID-19 Research Explorer, literature recommendation tools, etc., was truly enriching. The clarity with which you explain the complex concepts like abstract screening, data extraction, and issues with using the LLMs, etc., was highly commendable. Your practical insight into the application of these techniques in the real world NLP problems have equipped us with the valuable knowledge to advance in this domain. We deeply appreciate the time and effort you dedicated to sharing your expertise, making this session a valuable part of our learning journey. Once again, thank you, Dr. Carlos Moreno Garcia, for sharing your expertise and experiences with us. It has truly been a privilege to have you as the speaker for this session. Next, I invite Mrs. Sarida MS, Assistant Professor and also the Chair for this session from the Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department of SJCET PALAI. Over to you, ma'am.
On behalf of everyone present, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Carlos sir for delivering an insightful session on the challenges in NLP with deep learning techniques. Your expertise and valuable perspective have enlightened us and inspired new approaches to tackle these complexities. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and enriching our learning experience. As a token of appreciation, we would like to present you with a virtual memento. This is a small way to say thank you for your valuable time and effort. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sarida ma'am, for this graceful moment, since this gesture symbolizes our gratitude and respect for the time, expertise, and inspiration imparted by the resource person during the session. Once again, thank you, Dr. Carlos Moreno Garcia, for sharing your expertise and experiences with us. It has truly been a privilege to have you as a speaker for this session. And also, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the enthusiastic participants for their contributions, making this session a resounding success. Now, our esteemed guests will leave the platform.
Thank you. Bye.
Before we move ahead, I have a little reminder for the participants that we will share a feedback form in the chat box and also in the WhatsApp group shortly. You may fill it out using your participation ID as it is essential for marking your attendance. The participant ID has already been provided in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.
And now we warmly invite the participant to share your valuable feedback on the ATAL Online 6-Day Faculty Development Program 2024-25. These programs are designed to inspire, empower, and elevate the teaching community with the latest advancement and methodologies. Your voice matters deeply as it holds the key to enhancing the impact and excellence of our initiatives. By sharing your insight, you contribute to a future of academic brilliance and innovation. Let your thoughts blossom like red roses, adding the vibrance and fragrance to our continuous journey of growth and transformation, and your reflections will help us gauge the impact of this session. We encourage you to share your thoughts and key takeaways you might have, ensuring a collaborative exchange of ideas and experiences. Your feedback is instrumental in enhancing the quality and effectiveness of the future engagements.
Now, I have to announce that you will be having an online test regarding these sessions in order to get the certificates. We will share the Google Form link in the WhatsApp group, so please fill them as soon as possible. Before we conclude, I would like to take a moment to announce the eligibility criteria for certification for this ATAL 6-day online faculty development program. To be eligible for the certification, participants must meet the following requirements. First, all the participants should have registered in the ATAL portal. Second, a minimum of 80% attendance in the program is mandatory. Third one, participants must score at least 70% in the online assessment as mentioned above. And the next week after, submit your marks and attendance by the FDP coordinators in ATAL portal. And all the participants should give their feedback in the ATAL portal. And after completing it, you can download your certificates.
So, On the behalf of the organizing committee, it's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at the conclusion of this adult 6-day online faculty development program. First and foremost, we thank the Almighty for bestowing us with the strength, wisdom, and grace to organize and complete this program successfully. A special note of appreciation goes to Adult Academy for providing this excellent platform and initiative fostering opportunities for professional development and knowledge sharing. We are deeply thankful to the management, director, and principal of St. Joseph College of Engineering and Technology, Autonomous PALAI, for the unwavering support and encouragement enabling us to bring this vision to life. A special mention goes to our FDP coordinator and co-coordinator whose meticulous planning and dedicated effort ensures the seamless execution of every session. We are deeply thankful to the stakeholders and beneficiaries for their collaborations and trust in this endeavor. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed resource persons for their valuable contributions to the ATAL 6-day online faculty development program. Your insightful session, rich with knowledge and expertise, have greatly enhanced our understanding and equipped us with innovative approaches in our respective fields. Your dedication, engaging delivery, and willingness to share your experiences have left a lasting impact on all the participants, inspiring us to strive for excellence in their professional endeavors. A warm thanks to the session chairs of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department and the scholars of SJCET for their contributions and support throughout the program. A heartfelt thank you to the technical team for their exceptional efforts in ensuring smooth connectivity, flawless delivery, and resolving challenges promptly, which allowed us to focus on the core objectives of the program. We acknowledge Microsoft Teams for providing us with a robust and reliable platform that facilitated smooth communication and interaction. Together, all these elements have made this program a truly enriching and memorable experiences. Additionally, our heartfelt gratitude goes to the enthusiastic participants whose active engagement and insightful contributions have been cornerstone of this program's success. Your enthusiastic participation, insightful contributions, and the unwavering commitment to the professional development have been integral to the success of this initiative. It's your involvement that elevates the quality and impact of such programs. We sincerely thank you for your valuable time and efforts and look forward to your continued association in our future endeavors. Your time and input are our most cherished assets. Thank you for being a vital part of this endeavor and also sharing your remarkable experiences. Thank you all for your valuable presence and contributions.